Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome back, my esteemed students, to lesson number 9. Today we'll have this lesson under the title of working groups. So let's do the exercises. Exercise number A says, read this introduction, then use the same word to fill each of the gaps. So here we have 3 gaps, 3 spaces, and we have to fill in with the same word. So you have to put this thing into your consideration while you are reading. As mankind became more independent of his environment, he was able to live in larger groups. He built communities and developed social organizations within commerce. Consider the complexity of the social structures in banking, hospitals, and governments of today. Studying small groups can tell us about the way large groups work. This is the first space or gap. Our is the first group we experience. It may be small nuclear, the second space here, or it may be an extended so-and-so with uncles, aunts, grandparents, and cousins. And because you are so clever, my students, I think you have guessed what the word is. So the word here is family. Our family is the first group we experience. It may be a small nuclear family or an extended family with uncles, aunts, grandparents, and cousins. Now let's move to practice number B, work in pairs. Discuss the groups that you are part of. Number 1, describe your family. You have to put into your consideration its size, who does what, and who is in charge. Number 2, note the 4 people in your family you talk with most, in order. And number 3, what other groups do you belong to? Friends, team, or club? Here we have a lot of samples and different answers because any one of you can write a paragraph or answer to these questions according to his or her real life. So here we have this sample. Number 1, my family is of 7 members. My parents, 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and I. My father is a doctor and my mother is an engineer. So all my brothers and sisters are students. As usual, my father is in charge of the family. 2, my mother is the person I talk with the most, and then my father and my 2 brothers. 3, I belong to team of football. I belong to a team of football, and of course I have great friends. What about exercise number C? It says, look at the diagrams and read the information. Then answer the questions below in your notebook. I will read this text. Sociologists are interested in groups of people and how they work. One observation is that certain groups have particular structures. Here we are interested in the possible routes of communication between group members. The shapes of communication for the groups shown in the books are a circle, a chain, a Y, and a wheel. The letters represent people and the lines represent routes for messages, links. Number 1. For A and E to communicate, where must a message pass between three people? 2. Where can each person communicate with two others? 3. In which structure does C receive all the information directly? In which group is there only one person between each and the others? Number 5. Why do you think the person in position C could be the group leader? And number 6. Which group do you think solve problems the fastest and why? Which group has to send the most messages? And which group enjoy themselves most and why? So here we can see, my students, the circle group, the chain, the Y, and the wheel. And here are the answers. Number 1. For A and E to communicate, where must a message pass between three people? Chain, in the chain group. Number 2. Where can each person communicate with two others? With circle group. In the circle group, each person can communicate with two others. Number 3. In which structure does C receive all the information directly? Yes, in the wheel group. In the wheel group, C receives all the information directly. And number 4. In which group is there only one person between each and the other? Here also we have the wheel group. In the wheel group here also, there is only one person between each and the others. What about question number 5? Why do you think the person in position C could be the group leader? Because position C is most accessible to information from the others. Why? Because position C is at the center of this group. I mean the wheel group. Number 6. Which group do you think solve problems the fastest and why? The wheel. Why? Because there is only one person between each person and the other. B. Which group has to send the most messages? The circle. And C. Which group enjoy themselves most and why? Also the circle. Now after doing this exercise number C, let's do exercise number A in our workbooks. Read this extract from What a Sociologist Says About Status and Roles. Underline the examples of status and circle the examples of roles. Our status and the roles we play change all the time. At school, you're a student in class, a friend to your friends, a member of a sports team, and so on. When you're at home, you are a son or a daughter. This at once defines your status in the family. As the son or daughter, you have a role to play. Perhaps as the son you go to the mosque with your father. As the daughter, you help your mother to prepare the food for the family, and so on. Your status, son or daughter, is who you are. The role is what you do attend the mosque, preparing the food, and so on. So here are the answers underlined. Status: Y, a student in class. Friend to your friends. A member of sports team, or a son or a daughter. This is the status. And here we have to circle the role. You go to the mosque with your father. You help your mother to prepare the food for the family. Now, practice number B. Write a paragraph explaining your status at home within the family and the different roles you play. Compare this with your status and the role you play when you are outside the family, at school, with friends, at club you belong to, or playing for a team that you're part of. For example, here we have some possible answers, or a possible answer. People play the role they are good at. People respect each other's roles. Group members are flexible and communicate efficiently. Every group member cooperates with problem solving. And after doing and finishing this practice number B, we can conclude this lesson, my students. Study it hard. So finally, I want to say to everybody of you, thank you very much and goodbye.